Hello, I'm Denise Kisthardt, and this is my All About Me presentation. I grew up in a very progressive school, Silver Wing Elementary School in San Diego, California, and that was my first introduction into formal education. And it was groovy. It was a very progressive school with no grades, no direct instruction, and very little structure. And for me, it was freedom. I was free to read what I wanted, explore what I wanted, learn what I wanted, and I did so. My sister Karen, however, got to the fourth grade and no one had noticed that she really couldn't read yet. And clearly, Silver Wing Elementary wasn't for everyone. I had a roundabout journey to come to education as a career. In fact, the first 10 years of my career life was spent as an attorney for the city of Phoenix. Most of that was a prosecutor, but I did spend a little bit of time in land use and historic preservation. When my family had the opportunity to move to Oklahoma, it made a lot of sense for me to temporarily shift to a full-time at-home status with my two sons. I was admitted to the bar, but spent this temporary shift for the next 10 years as a stay-at-home mom and volunteer. I was very passionate about education as a parent, but the more I got involved, the more I realized how important it is. Once my sons became a little bit older and a little bit more independent, I began to sub for my teacher friends and become even more involved. It was suggested that perhaps I should consider teaching as a second career, which I resisted. But eventually, my youngest son pointed out that I was very happy when I was teaching, and so I finally did become in and give in and become certified. My reasons for taking this class are both personal and professional. Personally speaking, my two sons are my main impetus. They are both identified as gifted learners and are going through some really important academic and life transitions. My older son, Henry, has completed his freshman year in college, and my younger son, Sam, is entering his high school senior year. And these transitions are full of wonderful opportunities, but also fraught with pressures and difficult decisions. And the more I can learn about their social and emotional needs, the better resource I will be for them as they make these transitions. Professionally speaking, I'm a middle school teacher, and so I'm also charged with helping my students navigate this difficult and awkward time. In the 2017-2018 school year, I will have students in both 6th and 7th grade, and our school will also be introducing Cougar Time, which will allow students greater opportunities to bond with teachers throughout the campus. This will be a wonderful opportunity to connect with and help those gifted students who might be slipping through the cracks or need some additional support. So how do I identify a gifted kid? That's kind of intangible, and there's a certain amount of I know it when I see it. Gifted kids are really different and they're hard to pin down because it can manifest in a lot of different ways. Some clues that I pick up on are when they think about things in a particularly mature or unusual way, and not only have it available in a memory sense, but to be able to apply it elsewhere, especially in a surprising but particularly apt way. Because gifted students are as different from one another as they are from their average classmates, a single definition for gifted is almost impossible to come up with. They can appear lazy or disrespectful, diligent or engaging, or any or all of those behaviors. Their gifts can show up unexpectedly or inconsistently, and they may even be unable to see and address what is obvious to everyone around them. Gifted kids are also strangely asynchronous, both within themselves and with their peers. They're never quite on track. They can even appear slow in some areas. There's no clear roadmap. A common issue with them being out of sync within themselves is that they'll show up as being particularly mature in one way, but immature in others, like self-control. They're able to understand complicated math problems, but yet not remember their locker combination. They're also out of step not only within themselves, but with their age peers. They're also very intense. They can be just absolutely obsessed with whatever they're into. This could be getting stuck in a mood. This could be an interest that they have or a plan that they plan to execute. Gifted kids can also fall into a pressure trap, whether it's in their own head or more often from the adults around them. They can be particularly sensitive, even more so than the other kids their age. They understand information that they have access to in a deeper and more meaningful way, but without the experience or maturity that they might need to process it. And I feel that many of the actual pressures are generated by the adults around them. Excessive praise or attention for their intellect or skill can feed a perfectionist tendency. It prepared adults will allow them to recognize their differences and work with them without being held to some idealized or unattainable standard. So what do kids need? Gifted kids need freedom to explore their passions and not fit into the prefabricated box that we often try to put them in. A prepared adult advocate can help them work within their special gifts and sensitivities to reach their full potential. So I'm looking forward to this class, and hopefully I will learn to better support my gifted sons as well as my gifted students. Thank you.